Humans have always created waste. In the past, it was stuff like bones, shells, or peels left over from meals. These could easily break down and return to the environment. In more recent times, humans have created more trash and reused things less. Our trash has become harder to manage, and the materials, like plastics and metals, don't break down and return to the environment in the same ways. This has required us to think of new, innovative ways to handle our trash and work harder to reduce, reuse, and recycle. That's what we do at Ramsey Washington Recycling and Energy, or R&E. Ramsey and Washington counties have been working together since the 1980s to reduce and manage trash. R&E has programs to help schools, stores, restaurants, offices, and other businesses recycle more and waste less. It also helps educate and connect people to waste reduction and recycling opportunities. R&E runs the Ramsey Washington Recycling and Energy Center, or R&E Center, in Newport, Minnesota. If you live in Ramsey or Washington County, your trash comes right here to the R&E Center. Over 400,000 tons of trash are delivered here each year, enough to fill Orleans soccer field 19 times. R&E uses cutting-edge equipment to sort through all the trash and pull out valuable stuff like metals for recycling. The facility also separates food scrap bags received through the Food Scraps Pickup Program, which we'll talk about later. What's left is turned into fuel to make electricity. Here's how it works. First, garbage trucks, like the ones that come to your home and school, dump trash onto the tipping floor. It's the size of a football field. Front loaders like this push trash onto conveyor belts, which move the trash into our system to be processed. Crane operators watch out for dangerous stuff like propane tanks and electronics, which shouldn't be thrown in the trash, and things that are too big to go through the system. Safety is the #1 priority here, and you can help by making sure things like batteries, electronics, and propane tanks never go in the trash. They should go to a special collection facility instead, like your county's environmental center. Once the trash is moving on the conveyor belts, the first step of the process is passing a scanner which identifies and separates food scrap bags from the rest of the trash using robotic arms. The food scrap bags, containing things like eggshells, fruit and vegetable peels, and bones, are dropped down a chute, then loaded into a truck and brought to a facility where they are turned into a nutrient-rich material called compost. After the food scrap bags have been separated, the remaining trash continues on the conveyor belts to the hammer mill. The hammer mill is a shredder with 24 big hammers, weighing 145 pounds each, which spin and break open trash bags and smash the trash into small pieces. When they're small enough, the trash falls through holes in the floor onto another conveyor belt. As the trash moves along, a big magnet pulls out all the magnetic metals, like soup cans, and drops them on a different conveyor. All of this metal gets packed up and sent to a recycler to be melted and turned into new products. Back to the other conveyor belt. Trash that the magnet left behind passes over what's called the disc screen. Heavy things like glass, rocks, and other grit fall through the holes while lighter materials pass over the top and are blown off the disc screen using a large fan called an air classifier. So, the magnetic metal, glass, rocks, and other grit have all been pulled out. But what about non-magnetic metal like pop cans? That comes next. The trash that's left passes through an electromagnetic current called an eddy current. Non-magnetic metal items, like pop cans, are repelled by the electromagnetic current and are pushed to another belt, where they are baled and sent to a recycler to be melted and reused. On average, 80,000 pounds of aluminum cans are pulled out of the trash every week, which is equivalent to the weight of 7 elephants. That's a lot of cans. New technology installed at the R&E Center will help recover some cardboard and plastics within the next few years. Though we can recover some recyclables at our facility, we all need to do our part and make sure materials are recycled at home or school instead of going in the trash. They are cleaner and easier to recycle this way. After the aluminum cans and other recyclable materials are pulled out, the trash goes through a second hammer mill with 36 big hammers, spinning 900 times per minute and breaking it into even smaller pieces than the first hammer mill. When it's shredded like this, the trash is fluffy and light. This is called refuse-derived fuel, or RDF. The entire process from tip floor to RDF is monitored by an operator in the control room who watches over 50 live video feeds for any signs of trouble. If they see something dangerous, they can shut down the whole system with the click of a button. Once the RDF is loaded onto trailers, it is sent to XL power plants in Red Wing and Mankato, where it is combusted at a waste-to-energy facility to make electricity. R&E sends about 75 trailers of RDF to XL power plants every day. On average, the R&E Center produces enough fuel to power 12,500 homes per year. By keeping trash out of landfills, the R&E Center prevents almost 100,000 tons of carbon dioxide emissions each year. That's like taking over 21,000 cars off the road every year. This is important in addressing air pollution and climate change. R&E is exploring additional technologies that it hopes will recover even more value from trash in the future. While the R&E Center team works hard to recover valuable materials from the trash, better waste management starts with all of us. So, how do we best deal with our waste? Minnesota has created a list to help us decide. The top of the list are the best ways, and the bottom is what we should use only if it's our last option. We call this the waste hierarchy. The number one option is to reduce. This means not making waste in the first place by not buying as much or not buying things you don't need, and if possible, buying items that are more durable and will last longer. The next best choice is reuse. Sometimes things can be fixed, donated, or sold rather than thrown away. You can buy used things instead of new, and you can choose reusable items instead of ones that get thrown away. Next up is recycling. Everyone can recycle at home, school, and almost any other place. Next is composting. This means turning food scraps into soil. There are many ways to repurpose your food scraps. You could compost them in your own backyard, collect them at home, and drop them off at a collection site, or participate in the Food Scraps Pickup Program. The Food Scraps Pickup Program is a new way for residents to recycle food scraps from home. Launched in 2023, the program is rolling out over multiple years and will eventually be available to all residents of Ramsey and Washington counties. This program uses specially designed compostable bags, called food scrap bags, to collect food scraps. Once the bag is full, residents can put the food scrap bag directly in their trash cart or dumpster. The food scrap bags, along with your trash, are then brought to the R&E Center to be processed, as we saw earlier. Next is called waste to energy, which is the process of turning trash into electricity. The R&E Center processes all of Ramsey and Washington counties' trash into fuel for XL Energy to convert into electricity. While burning the trash to make electricity isn't a perfect plan, it's better than trash ending up in a landfill. The least preferred option is landfilling. Landfills release potent greenhouse gases and can pollute our groundwater. Thanks to the R&E Center, only a small amount of trash goes to landfills in Ramsey and Washington counties. R&E is an important part of waste management in Ramsey and Washington counties. And so are you. In a perfect world, there would be no trash to send to the R&E Center. And together, we can all help reduce waste. Talk to friends and family about what you're doing to reduce waste. You might just inspire them to do the same.